Your Honor, after numerous phone calls from Mr. Benavides, he indicated to me that he would like to review this because he maintains that he is employed now and that he was, at the time, this was in February, was establishing a separate residence in Clayton County, and he wanted his daughter returned to him so that she could go to school there the end of her senior year. I realize that she's going to be 18 in, I believe, about 4 months, isn't it?
3 months.
Yes, sir.
3 months. And he would like to reunite with his daughter prior to that time so that she can finish up her school in Clayton County.
Okay. So we had an extensive review a year ago, or January of 22, and there were some very disturbing facts that came out, and I chose not to move the child at that time. So I need to hear evidence about what has changed as far as particularly about Dad's situation that would alleviate those concerns from a year ago, or a year and 2 months ago.
I call Mr. Benavides.
Okay.
Okay.
State your
Can you
name.
hear me?
Yes, state your name for the court.
My name is Anthony Benavides. I'm 45 years old. I'm residing in Clayton County. Those things, I guess I'm not quite sure what they were. I don't really remember what they were, but there's nothing like that in my life. I'd like to see my daughter back in my life. I've had her since
let me ask,
2014.
Mr. Benavides, let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Respond to a question. Are you still visiting with your daughter?
No, ma'am. I'm not. My mom's not letting me have visitation.
Okay.
And also,
liar.
yes, ma'am. I didn't have her this past weekend.
Mr. Benavides, Mr. Benavides, the way we do these hearings is your lawyer asks you questions. You need to answer the question and then let her ask you another question. And then the other lawyers will ask you questions. And I may have a question, but it's the reason we don't just let people start talking is, and it's better to use the lawyer directed questions, is because the lawyers know what the issues are. They know what is potentially out of bounds as far as information that I don't need to hear or should not hear. It may be evidentiarily, it may be inadmissible. So that's why we don't let people start talking. So listen to your lawyer's questions and restrict your answers to answering as best you can those questions. Sometimes those questions don't need anything but a yes or no. Sometimes they need a little explanation. Go ahead, Ms. Risher.
Mr. Benavides, where are you living at this time?
I'm living at 53.
Mr. Benavides, you're going to need to slow down and repeat that because you haven't given us notice that you've moved. So give us that address. Well, wait a minute. I do have that address. 53-4, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Then we do have that address.
Is that your address or your parents' address?
It's my address right here now. It's my current address.
Okay. And are you employed?
I am employed.
And where are you working, sir?
I was working for U.S. Apollo, but I went back over to SIA.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand a word you just said. Could you repeat that?
U.S. Apollo.
Okay.
Holland.
Okay. And what do you do there?
I'm a truck driver. The local work. So I go out in the city and come back. You know, about 5 o'clock in the evening.
Are you drug tested on that job?
Yes, I am tested. I have a DOT background
Okay.
and hazmat background as well too.
All right. And why do you feel at this time that you'd like your daughter back home with you?
Well, she doesn't have a family member at the home that she lives in, a bloodline family member. She lives with just a friend of mine that I worked with at Ocurrs, and his wife just passed away, and so he doesn't have another mother figure inside the house with him. It's just him and his daughter and my daughter now, and I have trouble contacting her. My mom gives me limited access to her, and she took me off of all the school records at the school, and I don't have any information I've had her registered since 5th grade in Ola, and my mom took me off of everything.
Okay, why did she take
I
you
have no
off
access.
everything?
I don't know. She wasn't supposed to do that. I lived in Henry County. She didn't.
Are you currently seeing someone for your mental health issues?
I don't have a mental health issue. I went to see the McIntosh Trail, and they didn't refer me to anything.
Okay.
At least Schrock had she should be able to obtain that information. I went actually twice over there.
Okay. And do you take any medications at this time?
She's working at home.
I take no medications, no ma'am.
Okay. And is it your desire to have your daughter living back with you until she graduates?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
turns
She
18.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Bennett, do you have any questions?
Mr. Benavides, are you aware that Elise graduates from high school in about 4 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. I am. I'm aware of that. I can make the commute to her school. I've aligned that up with my ex-mother and father-in-law, who said that they would help me as well too, with her.
But you're suggesting that with 4 weeks left to go in her senior year, that she be returned to your care and have to switch high schools with 4 weeks left in her school year?
Well, I would hate to have to come back for another review and waste a whole lot of time. Just over 4 weeks, or however many weeks. She could do the rest online if she has to, and still walk with her class. If I already spoke to her about it, she's okay with it.
thought you
From the
said
look
you
on
had
her
it.
face, she
Wait,
doesn't appear to
wait
be
just a
okay with
second.
it.
As long as she graduates, she'll graduate. That's a good positive thing right there, that she graduates.
Mr.
She's
Benavides,
excited about it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
a minute ago, you said you hadn't been able to get in touch with your daughter. Now you're telling me you talked to your daughter and she said it was okay to transfer. Is
That
what
was
you're telling me?
it's been quite. I'm telling you exactly what I told you prior, and I'm telling you that this was prior before prior.
Prior
Spoke to her
before
prior
what?
before this.
Prior
What do you mean?
before what?
Prior before not being able to speak to her, I spoke to her about coming back home, and she said that she would come back home.
Okay, so when did you
So-
talk to your daughter when she said it was okay to transfer schools?
Well, I'm not gonna have her transfer school, sir. Okay, she can
That's what
still
you
do the
just
rest of
said.
her.
That's what you just
She
testified
can
to me.
still do the rest of her. She can still do the rest of her classes online.
Oh,
And
okay.
do you think
for
that's
the
fair
remaining
to
of the
her?
course, and still walk her class.
Do you
Ma'am,
think that
I'm pretty equipped. I know a lot about school. Yes.
do you think that's fair to have your daughter miss the final 4 weeks of her senior year?
Do you think I'm scared that I'm gonna miss the rest of my life with my daughter and she turns 18 on me?
You don't
I'd
get
like
to
to
ask
spend
questions,
time with
Mr.
her.
Benavides.
She'll graduate. She'll graduate, sir. She's graduating. She's at the top of her class. She's doing very well. She always has since I've had her. She made straight A's with the 5th grade with me, and I've had custody of her the whole time up until this garbage came up.
That was 4
That's
years
4
ago,
years
Mr.
later. It's 4 years
Benavides.
later, sir.
4 years ago. All right.
She's not even spending time with bloodline family.
Can I ask some questions now? You are still residing with your parents, is that correct?
I am currently, yes.
So you don't
There's
have a
plenty of room
residence
here.
of your own?
No, ma'am, that's not common. We used to live here. I used to live here before with her.
You have a bad internet connection, Mr. Benavides, because I didn't hear
Yes, sir.
anything.
Okay, let me repeat myself. I'm sorry, I apologize. Let me repeat myself. To her question is that I do reside here with them, but it's not uncommon for someone to do so. It's not a big problem. There's plenty of room here. I'm not the bad guy because I am.
And you currently have criminal charges pending for stalking, is that correct?
No, well, yeah, there are charges on there. That's going to be dismissed. dismissed, actually.
I can't understand him,
I'm
Your Honor.
gonna, Mr. Benavides, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room and bring you right back. Your connection's so bad, we can't
Because-
hear you. Let me
Because
try
that's the
that.
house I used to live at where the person said I was talking.
I'm gonna see if it'll improve your connection. So sit tight. You'll disappear from the screen for just a second. Do you remember the last question? Because we couldn't hear your answer.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
answer
sure
it
what you're
again.
talking about, but that's
Well, just
Yeah,
let
I
her
know what
ask
you're
you
talking
another
about.
question then. Ask him another question, Bennett.
My question was, do you have pending criminal charges for stalking?
I said I don't know what you're talking about.
So
The
you're not
answer is,
out on
do you know
bond?
yes or no? Or you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Are you currently out on bond?
Hello? I
Mr.
apologize. My
Benavides,
phone is not very well.
are you
Yes, ma'am.
currently out on bond?
Not that I'm aware of. I was at one time with my stepdad. That was for something else.
Did your parents have to bail you out of jail in the last few months?
Okay. I'm here to get my daughter back. I'm not being crucified for something it's not applicable to this whole entire situation. I'm a human and I have a daughter and I'd like to have her back. That's what I'm asking. Okay, there's no reason why I shouldn't have her back. I'm not a bad person. I haven't been judged as a bad
Benavides?
person.
Mr. Benavides,
Yes, sir.
I just got through telling you about 5 minutes ago, you don't just get to talk. You need to answer
Yes,
the
sir.
questions and you need, unless you're invoking your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination, you have to answer the question about whether
Okay, well, I
you're
plead the
bonded
fifth.
out on a stalking charge. That's yes or no,
I plead the fifth.
okay?
I plead the fifth. I have a right to
Okay.
do so.
You can.
Okay, on to a different topic. Have you been tracking your daughter's phone and then showing up wherever she is, demanding to see her if you can't locate her?
No, that has never happened. Okay, and I do have Find It app on my phone, and I pay for the phone line, and I have that security so in case I do need to track her, find her, I can do so. But the answer is no. And if you read my divorce decree, you read my parenting plan, it says I have the right to actually do that. Okay, so you can't deny my right to do that. And I'm not overbearing, and I'm not trying to do that, but I have that on my app.
But
And
you
so I showed it to
understand,
her, and however, so
you understand that subsequent to your divorce
she's a
papers,
child.
that you are by this court ordered to have no unsupervised contact with your daughter. Do you understand that?
Okay, well, that's why I want to abolish this whole thing. This is 4 years way too long, and you're going overboard on some garbage that's already been looked at, and you keep going on and on and on and on and on about stuff that it's got no relatives. There's nothing to it here. Just let me have her back. And Tate Williams don't have a wife at home no more. She passed away. So you're gonna let another man? It's not even blood related.
You're going off track, Mr.
my daughter?
Benavides. Mr. Benavides, I told you.
It's a
you
good
don't
point,
get to
though.
Just talk. Be quiet and wait for the next question, please.
Your Honor,
I'm sorry, but that's my daughter. No
Be
other man
quiet,
should raise my
Mr.
daughter but
Benavides.
myself.
I'm going to mute you if you say
Yes, sir.
another word.
Yes, sir.
I don't think we're getting anywhere, Your Honor. I don't have any more questions.
Ms. Rock, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Mr. Benavides, have you discussed with your daughter Elise recently within the past, say, the past month, what her feelings are about returning to your custody?
Her feelings are something I could take up with a psychiatrist. But my limited time with
Mr.
her is very
Benavides,
limited with her.
Mr. Benavides, the question was,
The answer
Mr.
is no.
Benavides,
I'm restricted from.
the question was, have you discussed with your daughter her preferences about finishing school?
Doing so. You restrict. And the answer to the question is I have.
Okay, recently. Okay, so what did she tell you about
It's
her
been talked
preference?
about.
What is it? What did she tell you
I
about
answered
her
your question.
preference? What I'm asking you, what did she tell you? You said you talked to her recently about
Okay,
her
well,
preferences. Quit interrupting me, please.
we talked about college.
Quit interrupting me. You asked me to repeat the question and I'm repeating it. What did she tell you about her preference when you talked to her recently about school?
Okay, I just told you. We talked about college.
Okay,
That's it.
okay. Well, she's not going to start college before she turns 18, is she?
We talk about a lot of things.
You have any
No,
other
sir, but
questions,
she's going to
Ms.
finish
Scott?
high school. I'm not going to let her
You're
not
not
finish high school.
responsive to the questions, Mr. Benavides.
I'm very responsive, sir.
No, you're
I
not.
apologize. I'm not saying what you want me to say.
I know you don't answer the question. You say what you want to say, and that's not how it works. Do you have any other questions, Ms. Rock?
No, sir.
Anybody that I didn't, a couple of the mother doesn't have legal representation. Did you have any questions, Ms. Swain?
Thank you. I just want my daughter to be happy. She's very happy.
Oh, wait. I'll give you a chance to tell me what you want to tell me in a few minutes. Where has anybody got any questions? Do you have any questions for Mr. Benavides? He's still on the witness stand.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Williams, I don't think you're represented. Did you have any questions for Mr. Benavides?
Okay, I'm kind of confused because earlier he said he had a job.
Well, what's the question to him?
Is he working? Are you working, Anthony? Did anybody hear my question?
I did.
We
but
did.
Mr. Benavides is frozen.
He's using the same internet that I'm using.
Okay, but you haven't been talking, so we don't know whether it's, have you had trouble being on, do you ever get on Zoom to visit people or anything? McConnell?
I've been on Zoom. I've been on Zoom for the last couple of hearings and mediation, and it was fine.
Okay, good. It's not fine today, and I don't, all right, you're back. Mr. Williams had a question for you, Mr. Benavides, so listen up, please.
Anthony, you said earlier you were working. I mean, last I heard you weren't working at Holland anymore. He's gone.
I don't know why he's using his phone. He has a computer.
It's just a lot of inconsistencies, Judge. That's all. I was just trying to point out that he's just making up a lot of things. That's all.
Well, you seem to have a good connection, Ms. McConnelly. Maybe he can come share the camera with you. Do you mind?
Let me get him.
Did you hear the question that Mr. Williams asked you, Mr. Benavides?
I did, yes, sir. I answered them.
Sitting on the stairs.
Well, if you answered it, we didn't hear it. That's when we had problems again.
Yeah, I told him yes. Well, I told him I said I already answered that question, but the answer is yes.
You currently, as we sit here today, you work for Holland.
Yeah. I'm about to move back over to SIA, as a matter of fact.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Wait just a second, Mr. Williams. So you were at the job yesterday at Holland?
Yesterday was Sunday.
Ma'am, sir?
Yesterday was Sunday.
Yeah, that was Easter Sunday. You worked yesterday?
No, sir, I don't work on those days.
Did you work Saturday?
No, sir, just Monday through
We
Friday.
can't hear you. You're
Just Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. So last Friday you worked at Holland,
Yes, sir.
and their payroll records would show that you were on the job and got paid for last Friday.
Correct.
Okay. Did you leave there and recently come back?
I did, yes. I got laid off for a while and I came back.
When did you come back?
About a month ago.
Okay. Did you have any other questions, Mr. Williams?
We took an oath a minute ago. We put our hand up to tell the
That's
truth.
not
and he's not
appropriate,
telling
Mr.
the truth.
Williams. Mr. Williams, I
Okay.
know you're not a lawyer, but that's not what we do. in
Yes,
court.
sir. Sorry.
Okay. Did you have any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Did you have any other witnesses, Ms. Risher, or any redirect to your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Bennett, do you have any evidence?
Yes, sir. I call Miss McConley as a
Okay.
witness. Can you unmute yourself, Miss McConley? I can hear you now.
Okay,
Miss McConley, is your son actively getting up and going to a job every day?
no, he's not.
Is he's still residing with you? Is he paying any rent to you?
He's still residing with me and he pays no rent.
How long has he been residing with you?
Since his home was foreclosed on.
What year was that?
And it was 2019 or 20,
Has he ever paid you any
about
rent?
March. I'm not real sure. No, he hasn't.
Okay. Have you ever known him to get any kind of mental health treatment since this case has been ongoing?
No,
Have you ever known him to
No.
get any kind of substance abuse treatment since this case has been ongoing?
I'm not sure. He had some kind of classes he was going to, but I'm not sure what they were for.
Okay. Did you recently have to bail him out of jail?
Yes.
For what?
Stalking, harassing phone calls, making fraudulent police reports, and threatening and abusive language to police officers.
And who was he reported to be stalking?
There's no proof of that.
A woman that lives in his old residence that was foreclosed on him.
Does your son continue to engage in behaviors that concern you about his ability to parent?
Yes.
Can you explain, just give us a couple of examples of what those concerning behaviors are?
Well, his daughter comes for visitation every other Sunday, with the exception of last Sunday because she was working her new job. He pays no attention to her when she's here, except for maybe the last 30 to 45 minutes. And they have very little conversation. He has things in his room that his daughter should not be having to look at and see all the time.
Such
It's
as,
just, it's horrendous. His rubber dolls with knives and stuff stuck in them, especially the genitalia. There's not a single wall in his room in my house that does not have burns on it. There's a gaping hole on the bedroom floor where he fell asleep with a torch on and almost set the house. He actually set the house on fire. The police department, the fire department had to come out and put fire extinguishers because he started the fire in between the subfloor and the ceiling and the downstairs ceiling. The way that torch fell down.
Has Elise ever expressed to you that she does not wish to have visitation with her father anymore?
All the time.
And
But
has Mr. Benavides been tracking Elise's phone and showing up places where she thinks she is?
He tracks her and he gets real upset when he's not able to, at times when he's not able to track her. And he drives everybody crazy here at my house wanting to find her. What he has done was she went to spend time with her sister in Brunswick, And he sent the police over to her sister's house in the middle of the night. Telling the police that she was taken there against her will. She also made a trip to check out a campus in South Carolina, or North Carolina rather. And they're not quite sure what it was about, but the night that they spent there, police showed up at Mr. Williams' family's home there. But they didn't answer the door and the police just left. But it was probably something that had never happened to their home before. And it was probably Anthony, I'm just assuming,
Okay.
sending the police there because he'd done it before.
Okay. And so in your opinion, should your son have custody returned to him of Elise?
No, I'm sorry to say no.
Do you think that your son should continue to have visitation with her?
I think he should have some type of a communication with her, but not at times when she doesn't want to. She
So
should
that-
be able to choose a visitation day.
Or when she's working.
Yeah, or when she's working. He expects her to not have a job when she's trying to put away money for college. And he expects her to not have a job in order to complete visitation. She wants to work.
And you said even though, like, when he does have those visits, that only the last half hour they actually engage?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Risher, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Schrock?
Just one. Ms. McConley, there's been testimony that Elise is doing very well in school and has plans to attend college, and also that she recently obtained a job. Do you have any concerns whatsoever for Elise's ability to, her maturity, her decision making, her behavior, any concerns with regards to Elise as far as that goes?
No, I think she's a very responsible young lady. She makes good decisions. She is saving money and she spends her money wisely. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she wants for her future. And she's doing it right. And to take her out of school just 4 weeks before school ends is outrageous.
Okay, thank you very much. No other questions.
Ms. Swain, did you have any questions for this witness?
No.
Mr. Williams?
No, sir.
All right. Did you have any other witnesses, Ms. Bennett?
Just the child, Your Honor. I was just gonna ask the child what she wants.
Okay. She's under oath. Go ahead. I was going to let Ms. Schrock call her, but you can call her.
No, that's fine.
No.
I'll let Ms. Rock direct her.
Ms. Schrock?
Yes, sir. Can you tell us what your desire is in terms of where you want to live for the last, couple of months until your 18th birthday?
I'd really just like to stay where I'm at. I think it's a great place and I'm treated well here and I'm about to graduate school here. So I think it would be nice to just stay where I am.
And you do not want any disruptions in your schooling, do you?
Absolutely not.
Are you intending to go to college in the fall?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you already been accepted into any particular college?
Yes, ma'am. I was accepted to a college in Brunswick.
Okay. And if the court were to grant your father's request for custody to be returned to your father, do you feel that would have any bearing on your schooling?
Absolutely. It would be impossible for me to complete my courses online. And I just think it would be disruptive in general for me to have to go somewhere else than where I've been living for the last 4 years and doing well at.
Okay. That's all. I think that, that she's given her point of view. If there's anything further that Ms. Bennett wants to clarify, I thought that will be fine.
Ms. Bennett,
No, sir, she's answered all the questions.
Ms. Risher, any questions?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams or Ms. Swain?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, sir.
Alyssa, are you seeing your mom? I know we talked about it back in January of last year, that y'all were having some contact.
Yes, I see her regularly.
Okay. I wanted to ask Ms. McConley, I heard testimony very similar in January of last year about the dolls and the knives and the stuff. I would have thought that stuff would have been gotten out of the house, and it's all still there.
It's all still here.
Okay. And this is his bedroom, right? Over the room he uses
his-
as his bedroom.
It's the room he's using in my house, yes.
Okay. All right. Any argument, counsel?
Oh, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I'm not going to make any changes in this child's custody that would interfere with her finishing high school. So I'm going to, I wanted to reassure Elise that that's not happening under my watch, that I will take some time to write an order and try to alleviate some of these issues that seem to keep cropping up and don't get resolved. Elise, how, say, your grandmother said you did not go to her house last weekend because you had to work on Sunday. She said that your dad is at the house but doesn't spend much time with you. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And you're not looking for him either, right? If you visit with your grandson, and if dad comes in the room, y'all talk, but you're not. Why is it not high on your list of to want to spend time with him? Is he confrontational with you? Is it trying to bring up old stuff, or is it 30 questions?
A mixture of everything, really. I feel like he hasn't put in any effort to help himself. And I don't feel like I need to make an effort if he's not making an effort to help himself so he can get better and actually be there for me. Every time I talk to him, it's always got something to do with this court case, or he'll try to tell me like random stuff about this like voodoo stuff he's got going on or whatever's going on in his head, and I just don't feel comfortable.
Okay. All righty. Is everybody still at the same addresses that I have? Ms. Swain, I had you in Covington.
No, I've been living in a condo in Conyers for the past year and a half.
Okay, can you give us that address? Do you mind?
Sure.
Thank y'all for your time. And
Your Honor, if I may say, there
Go ahead.
is another woman in Mr. Williams' home, and that's Mrs. Williams' aunt, who lives there and has been living with them for years.
okay,
She is there in the home with the girls.
okay. Well, I didn't hear anything that's, I mean, there's nothing per se wrong with there are plenty of single fathers who raise their kids and do fine. So I don't.
That's right. Mhm.
But he's not a blood relative. He's just a
Alright.
friend. We can't give her to her grandparents. Her grandparents, the other grandparents I spoke to said that they'll let her stay there.
All righty.
They don't get to spend no time with them.
We will conclude the hearing and I will get you an order as soon as I can. Thank y'all for your time and your information. Take care.
Thank you.